What's up, Hollow News family? Welcome to another episode of the Can We Talk podcast, our show where we talk to dope people in the community doing dope things. And today is no different. I'm so excited to have my next guest on. We are in the thick of election season and we're doing election coverage and interviewing candidates across South Florida so you can learn more about their platform, who they are, and why they deserve your vote. And so today is no different. Candidates are from across party lines are invited to Hilo News. So we go by a first come, first serve basis. So if you want to be interviewed, just hit us up. And so you could be on the show as well. And I'm excited to have our next guest on. She is running for office in Miami Gardens, and she's going to tell you why she deserves your vote. So without further ado, I would love to welcome to the show Dr. Michelle C. Powell. Hey.
Hello, hello. Thank you so much for having me on your show. I think it's so important for the residents and everyone to get an idea who the candidates are, hear that from them, but most importantly, to hear the questions. I think we may think we want to know what the residents want, but you're giving the voice to the people. So I'm very happy to be here today, and I'm running for Council C3. So that we vote 367 for Miami Gardens Council C3.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Powell, for coming on. You've been doing work in the community for, over 20 years, is it? And I don't want to give you too much on it, but black don't crack. But I've
Thank you.
learned
Thank you.
known of you for a while and doing work in the community. So when I saw you running for office, I was like, oh, okay, like let's go.
Yeah.
So tell us what made you decide to go from private practice. You're a doctor, and you're like, I'm gonna jump into the world of politics. What was that inspiration for you?
Well, that's a great question, and many people have been asking that question. Dr. Powell, you're a doctor. Why are you getting involved in the so-called political realm? I'm getting involved in making my community better, and as a physician, that's my job. That's what I have taken on as a mission for my life, is to make not only patients better. And while I went through breast cancer 2 years ago, I had the opportunity to meditate, and I realized that just treating people in my office was not really getting to the root of many people's issues. It's a mind, body, spirit, social, environmental impact, the health of individuals. So, as much as I can give a pill, give a recommendation in my office, if I don't address the situation in people's environment, job opportunities, stress from violence, stress from unable to be active because parks are not available, then how can I truly really impact health? And so my goal in running for this office is to help make Miami Gardens better.
Wow. Thank you for that answer. And so tell us some of the things that are on your platform. What are some of the key pillars or the key focus areas that is a part of your campaign and what you want to see if elected?
When I first came out with my platform, I took on the usual things that most people talk about. Violence, for instance. Crime is high in Miami Gardens, and that's been a concern for many people. But as I spoke to people and I went around talking and knocking on doors and found that so few people wanted to open doors. So few people, a lot of people had bars up and gates up because they are anxious and nervous in their community. And then I realized that addressing violence means to address security and safety. And security and safety, we have to go back to, am I my brother's keeper? We have to go back to building community where individuals care about one another, where people know their neighbor, where people are willing to look out for their neighbor. And how do you do that? We have to have more activities, involvements where the community comes out to learn about their neighbor. So you only get to trust somebody when you engage with them. Same thing with our police force. Our police force, I'm going to strongly encourage become more of a presence. They're doing lots of community activities, but they must now become more of a community force where the people know them by name, know them and see them in the community to build trust. So my first goal is to build a better, stronger community, which will involve creating more communication points. Because a lot, I didn't know this, I don't know that, I didn't know we did this, da da da, and that comes not only from like a show like yours, and I'd love to come back once I'm in the council seat to talk more what's
Yes.
happening. Emails, phone, text messages, the TV show, the TV channel that we have for Miami Gardens, all those have to be put together and utilized to get the word out of what's available in Miami Gardens. And that's going to be on my mission. Plus, of course, the weekly community forums that I'll be hosting. And the final thing of really in my heart is that if your community is not healthy, you're not
Mhm.
prosperous. I was part of the initiation team for Live Healthy Miami Gardens, and we did a lot of studies about how to make Miami Gardens healthy. Our parks are growing and developing, but for me, not fast enough. I'll say, hey, I need you to go walk for 30 minutes, but the park down your street has no parking, no lighting. It's not a place where you feel secure about walking in. And so my initiative will also be to work closely with Parks and Recreation to speed that process up and find some intermediary steps that we can take while those parks are being created to still get people active and moving. So I'm going to be having Walk with the Doc weekly so I can get people to come on out and walk with me just to build a healthy, stronger community.
Oh, that's what's oh, thank you for breaking that down for us. And just switching gears a little bit, and I've been asking all Miami Gardens candidates this question because I want to know everyone's take on this. Copa America came
Yeah,
a couple of weeks ago to Miami Gardens, and we all saw the viral images and the headlines worldwide from the destruction and the things that happened at Dolphin Stadium and around the surrounding areas outside of the stadium.
sure.
And I've been telling people, like, for me as a Miami Gardens native, born and raised in Carroll City, I felt disrespected. I was like, what's going on? Like, how dare you come into our community and tear it up like this? And, I know there's a culture around soccer in different countries and they have different protocols, and that was new to Miami Gardens. So I want to know, if elected, what would you do, or what would be some things that you would want to see implemented so that we can prevent another Copa America from happening? Because I know the World Cup is on the horizon to come to Miami Gardens too. So we have to be prepared. So what are some things from seeing that, if elected, you would want to see implemented to prevent that?
I think I agree definitely. It was devastating to see the damage that was done to the stadium, even though it's not our stadium, but like you said, the disrespect to the surrounding community and the residents. And as a Miami Gardens resident, I believe that the initiatives we will take is to learn from lessons past. We will look at COPA and we will see what was missing and what they call a hot wash. If
Mm.
you've ever done event planning, and I used to have an organization called Ladies Night Out, we used to, you do the event and you do a hot wash, what worked and what did not work. And I know that it's not called a hot wash, but an evaluation of the event has been underway. We have learned a lot of things that inward security system, the location of parking, the directions to people attending the event, the police force support system. All those are lessons learned. And for me, it's not so much about, oh, you got sick or, oh, this event was a disaster. It's how do we keep you well for the future? And what can we do in the future to make we want events here, but we want them respectful to our community. We want the infrastructure ready to support these events. And I believe if we apply such positive things as we have games now, football games, we have tennis came here, even the race came and they were quite organized. And I think we can look at those events that have been successful, like the Lipton, the tennis matches, and apply those positive structures, infrastructures to an event like COPA for the next time.
And just to piggyback off of Copa, another thing that I've heard residents complain about is traffic when there are major events at the stadium. And so, if elected, do you have any ideas in mind that you would want to implement to help alleviate traffic for residents of Miami Gardens?
I think I have heard a very positive um, planned idea, which is for residents having a resident lane, which is a lane where you identify residents have their tag, just like in some of the places in South Florida, like going over into the beach and in the island, certain places, they have tags on their cars. And I believe we can distribute um, little Miami Gardens tags that says you're a resident and open a lane. And it's not my idea. It's in the way the making right now, where now there will be a lane for residents to be able to navigate and negotiate in and out. You know, and I think that's one idea that we can implement. The second, of course, is better distribution, because forewarned is forearmed.
Mhm.
um, we do announce it on the website when there's certain things coming, but we need to do maybe a little bit more. Like I said, using our TV, our radio station, our mailing, our text messaging. Beware this is going to be happening so that people are prepared for it. Because you may not want to be here when this is
That
happening.
part. Yeah, you may say,
You
"I wanna
know?
go."
Exactly. And those are just little things. So one of the bigger questions to ask as we grow and we seek to attract more events, more people to grow us in a positive way, how will we manage that growth? And that's where we're going to need the voices of our residents to come to the meetings to give positive solutions. We'll need the voice of our city manager to share what may be on the planning table. And of course, the council representing each of the areas that will be impacted by growing Miami Gardens.
Nice. And that's a really great segue into my question about economic growth because there's a new development coming to 27th
Ooh,
Avenue, the new
yes.
entertainment system. And so that's going to be right there near the stadium. So that may be more traffic over there, but also, too, is economic growth, more businesses, more opportunities for employment, more opportunities for small businesses. So I wanted to know if elected, what would be some things you would want to see implemented for economic growth and more involvement of local businesses.
I think you're so right. Growth can be positive, but we want those positive dollars in and being put back into the community. And the best way to do that is, of course, to hire from within. And I do believe they do have in place, and we have to make it more available, the information, what opportunities are available, what we call the percentage of businesses must be from residents and employed by residents. But what we also have to do, we have to employ our youth, and we can employ our youth by giving them experience in the type of growth that's coming. So, trade experience, welding experience, building experiencing, maybe gardening, plumbing experience, electrical. And we have a beautiful training place at Job Corps Miami. And I do believe in private public partnership where we do a lot of internship. In my office, I allow interns for medical assistant, nurses, doctors. They intern in my office. And as these new businesses come in, I'm going to try to create, I'm going to a public private partnership to not only give the jobs, but give the training so that the income will even be higher. So not only can you work in these places, you can still live in Miami Gardens because you're getting an affordable pay,
Nice. And
a
any
living
thoughts
wage.
around um local businesses and involvement? Because sometimes local businesses feel like they aren't involved in some of this economic growth. So do you have any thoughts around including local businesses, local residents who have businesses as part of this economic growth in Miami Gardens?
But most definitely, as we invite with weekly community forums, I plan, because as a business I know we don't have much time, a monthly business forum where we're informing the businesses that exist already of what is coming and how their business can benefit of if there is something that they need to do to expand within their business, so that they can participate more fully, I want to be able to inform them at these monthly business forums. This is what's coming. If you want to participate, here are the forms to participate. Here are the vendor contracts that are coming up. You don't have this, this, and this. Here's how you can get it so that you could be ready for these wonderful new things that are coming.
Thank you for breaking that down. I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about seat 3. That's not a citywide seat, correct? That's like it has its own district, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Miami Gardens Council was created to have 5 seats or 5 regions of the community. There's over 111,000 people. And my area goes from 27th Avenue on the west side to 95 on the east and to the stadium, more like Walmart on the north side, and to 151st Street on the south side. That comes out to almost 20,000 people, right?
Wow.
Right, exactly. And so, but remember, it's 110. So with the 5 council seats, each one of them are representing different regions of the Miami Gardens city. And even though we're representing different areas, it requires the vote of the 7 members of the council and the majority vote to pass anything. So our council people represents their region, but passage requires all the council members in the
Gotcha.
majority. Yeah.
And so for the area that the voting district that you represent, what are there any specific challenges or focus areas that the residents there have told you that they want to see within that district? And if so, if elected, what would you do to address those areas?
Yes. And walking and talking to people, people are very, very concerned about the high cost of water. They're really concerned about infrastructure things like there's sidewalks, their personal home things like roofing and painting. And thank goodness Miami Gard does have funds allocated to help people with, especially seniors with housing issues. But you do have to apply, you have to have knowledge of it. And so I've been taking names and numbers so that I can send information to residents. But in addition to other things, safety is a big concern, and we talked a little bit about that. Our police force has so many openings. We're less than 200 officers. So, out on the ground. So we need to really create more of that. In my area, our parks, we have 2 parks are under construction, and we're going to have to continue to get those finished so people can play. You know,
Which parks are those? Just so
uh,
people get like a frame of reference of where the district is.
so we have Scott Park, hasn't even broken grounds yet, and then we're
Mhm.
still waiting for on 27th Avenue over on 17th and 183rd. The names escapes me right now. Um, but that park has been building for 3 years now. So I think it's
Mm.
about finished. And until then, we still have the senior center, which you're able to walk
Is
and
that Rolling
Rolling
Oak?
Oaks Park.
Yeah,
Yes, Rolling
Rolling
Oaks
Oaks. I was
Park.
trying to picture it in
Yeah,
my
I
head.
could see it, but Rolling Oaks,
Yeah,
it's going to be huge, but it's not done.
yeah,
They're saying October, November, but we do need to get it done so that
yeah.
we can start having our community events there, walking, like I said, with the dock there. But health safety are the main top issues, and help with paying for things. Um, our seniors are strapped, just like many of us, financially. And so we have fines. People are building up fines because they can't afford to pressure wash their streets.
Mm,
They can't afford to fix things in their homes that require fixing. So, looking for ways to get funding is going to be one of my big initiatives. Wherever I can reach out and who I can partner with to help our residents get some assistance with keeping their homes, and
gotcha.
not losing it.
And so before I let you go, is there anything else that you would like to touch on? And at the very least, I would like for you to tell people in your own words why they deserve your vote.
Again, I'm running for Council C3, and the punch number is 367. I believe that you should give me your vote because, first of all, I am here not for the popularity. I'm not here for the limelight. I'm here to see Miami Gardens become better. As a resident over 20 years who have raised my children here, who are now 22 and 25 years, it's my heart and my home. And therefore, I'm coming into this seat to make Miami Gardens better, but not just wanting and having a desire. I have the experience. I've run my own company for over 20 years. I systematically know how to solve problems as a physician. I've had the training. I have business training. I know how to read the spreadsheets. And I also am problem based and I know how to play on a team.
Mm.
A budget or any line item must be passed by an entire council. You cannot alienate council members, whether through, I won't even say the details of different things, but you cannot alienate your players and expect to get anything passed. So I'm that person who believes in teamwork, meeting in the middle, working out issues, and strategizing to move things forward. It's not about my popularity. I don't need the popularity. What I need is to see my city become the best city it possibly can be. And I'm here to be of service. And I also want to say it's not my full time job. So I'm not looking for it to give me an income or bail me out of any financial crisis. I'm looking to be of service and to continue on my own personal service, which is to help and care for people.
That's what's up. And let people know how they could follow you. Are you on social media? Do you have a website? If they want to learn more about you. Also, too, you probably have the district outlined on your website or somewhere. So let
Yeah.
people know how they can connect with you.
Yes. If you're listening to this, and Jane, I really want to thank you for having me. So, um, getting the opportunity to talk and answer questions, and these are things people really need to know about the candidates. So, I thank you so much for having me.
Of
You
course.
can learn more about me at Dr. MC Powell on my Instagram and Facebook. In addition, you can also contact me at any time, really, um, on through the Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be happy to respond to you. And I'm always at the Senior Center giving talks every 2 weeks. I've been doing that for over 5 years. So, and I'm happy to always educate and train. So, if you ever just want me to come by and to your school, your organization to help just make everything better, that's
Yeah.
I'm available.
Well, regardless of the outcome, because health is very important, if there's issues and hot topics around health, especially black health and things that concern the black community, definitely come back to High Low News because those are conversations that we need to have. And I want to pull the curtain back just a little bit because, I put a post on Facebook and I was like, I'm looking for Dr. Powell. And a part of that is I wanted to schedule an interview with you, but there was a miscommunication between
Yeah.
one of my team members and not yours, but we thought we were calling your one of your team members. And the reason
Yeah.
why I wanted to share this anecdote is because the way you came in and you were like on it and you were like, no, I want to make sure that this wasn't a miss, someone on my team just, being disrespectful or being rude. And so to me, that spoke volumes to your character and who you are and the type of leader that you'll be if
Yes.
elected. And so I wanted to give people a little bit of insight of like the character of who you are, behind closed doors. Like we had a really, really great conversation, and you were really understanding, and we were able to kind of like talk through that situation. And I was really grateful for that. So I wanted to be able to share that anecdote with people just to know. Just to know a little bit more about Dr. Michelle Powell as the person, and if you decide to vote for her, this is the type of person that you're voting for. So,
Thank you.
just
Thank
wanted to
you.
give that
I,
little bit of tidbit.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Janie. Professionalism is so important to me because I find that, just as an aside, civility has almost, you know, it's no longer prestigious to be civil. And I think we have to come back to a place where we talk to one another with respect, dignity, with care, with concern, and most importantly, with love. I believe we will change things when we go back to those core values of kindness and civility. And so anything that I can do, and even with myself, then many times I people say, "Aren't you mad?" Sure, I'm mad, but how can I move past my anger to get to solution? Okay, you know, master your mind, and your body will follow.
That part. Well, just definitely, I could tell you guys just from looking on the back end, she's walking and talking. What she says is who she is. And so I appreciate you for coming on the Can We Talk podcast. Everyone, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok. We're on all the things. Head to highlowNewsMiami.com. Sign up for our email newsletter. Check out our website. We have exclusive content for our loyal followers there. So make sure you're signed up and connected to our email newsletter and our website. And Dr. Powell, I want to thank you again for coming on the show. This has been another amazing episode. This is our election edition where we're talking to candidates, letting them share their story and let you know why they deserve your vote. Dr. Michelle Powell, thank you. Hello, News
Thank you.
audience. Thank
Also,
y'all for tuning in.
my
We'll see
pleasure.
y'all next time. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Go 367. Have a great day.
Yes.
Okay.